A former political director for a Republican congressman tells NBC News that she got sexually explicit text messages from him for years before Tony Gonzales admitted to an affair with a separate staffer. Those texts apparently included asks for sex and nude photos. She confirmed to NBC News all her claims in this story by the San Antonio Express-News, including him apparently asking for naked pictures more than a dozen times over 3 days. She also says she rebuffed his requests for a physical relationship. NBC News generally does not name alleged victims of sexual misconduct without their permission. Remember, Gonzales dropped his re-election push after new reporting revealed an affair with a different staffer who later died by suicide. That allegation led to an ethics investigation and a rebuke from Republican leadership. The spokesperson for Gonzales hung up the phone when asked by NBC News for comment. Ryan Nobles joins us now. He is still obviously a sitting lawmaker here. Was already embattled even before this latest series of revelations.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, in this instance, he's not accused of any sexual assault, but this is certainly at the very least gross communication that he had with someone that was a subordinate. It was before he was elected to Congress. She described and showed the San Antonio Express-News examples of this back and forth between her and the congressman. She even went as far as to say that she in some ways kind of didn't encourage it, but didn't necessarily tell him to stop, which she admits. But she believes that this is another data point in Congressman Gonzales' track record that needs to come out. She said this in a statement. She said, the objective here is not to beat a dead horse. The man's done, but at the end of the day, this behavior has to stop. What can I do? This is what I'm asking myself. What is my part in this? And she thinks coming out and telling her story is part of making sure everyone knows about the type of conduct that Gonzales was engaged in.
Is there any indication that this is going to land differently or have an impact on Republican leadership that the prior revelations did not have?
Well, we saw already some Republican Congresswoman, Anna Paulina Luna in particular, say that she would have already expelled him if it were up to her. If she had the votes to do it, she would have already expelled him. I do believe that what we're waiting for here is the results of this ethics investigation. And if the ethics investigation comes out and it lays out all the details of the previous affair, which ended in the woman that he had that affair with taking her own life, and then you add it to this new additional allegation, and then I guess there's always the possibility that other allegations could come forward, it's definitely going to put Republican leadership in a tight bind here. They've expelled people for less, if you remember the George Santos affair, and they used the results of an ethics investigation to set the precedent of when it is worthy to expel someone from office. And so these are serious allegations. It's a clear violation of the House rules. You cannot engage in a relationship with a subordinate. So it's going to put them in a tough spot regardless. The question is, when does that report come out and how does it affect
Do we know anything about the timeline?
No, the Ethics Committee doesn't reveal that. We know it's ongoing. There's a good chance maybe it doesn't even come out until after the election, and it's all a moot point.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.